Let's start my YouTube as well. Good morning. Meet me on your mat in tabletop position. All right, let's go. With your fingers spanning nice and wide, hands right underneath your shoulders, elbows turn, your upper arms externally rotated towards the front so that the soft bendy part of your elbow is pointing towards the front of your mat. Knees just under the hips and just hips width distance apart. Hold here, press away from the mat without arching through the back like a cat. And let's warm up the wrists a little bit by rolling around the hands. And be really careful because those tender wrists can be really tough right here. And we do so much work on our hands, not only in our regular workouts, in our other workouts, but also in yoga. So I find that this has been a really great warm-up for me. Not actually cat-cow, but just focusing on my wrists. Take one more circle in whichever direction you're going, and then take a pause and go in the opposite direction. So your back is nice and straight, brace through the core, taking the chin over the fingertips, and then coming back and around. See if you can feel the difference from the back, from the heel of your hand up into the knuckles. And maybe make that circle just a little bit bigger. And then at the bottom of your next exhale, come back to neutral spine. Inhale, cow pose by drawing your belly button towards your mat. Tailbone lifts, shine your clavicles towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, draw in, belly button comes up towards your spine. Choke out those last little bits of air. Inhale, flow down. Exhale, pull through. Inhale back to neutral spine. And then at the bottom of your exhale, inhale your right arm up and towards the ceiling. And it's so funny, we were doing some of this work with Rochelle. I was like, dang, it's like she's reading my mind. Now we're gonna hold here for a few breaths. And if you're anything like me, this can feel really challenging. So if your hips are kind of trying to accommodate, try to pull the hips back into place, and you're gonna feel how that right shoulder tries to come back towards the mat. So play with opening up to the mid to upper back here, and it's gonna feel a little like it's challenging your breath. So just be here and feel how that's opening up the places where you are stuck. Take your next full breath, and as you exhale, bring the right hand down, inhale the left arm up. And notice how right versus left always feels a little different. So giving yourself the time to work it out for yourself, not crash landing into this work. Feel that upper back being challenged and opened. One more full breath. And at the bottom of your exhale, slowly releasing the left hand back to your mat. Walk your hands a half to a full handprint forward, tuck your toes, and pike your hips to your first downward facing dog. Fan out your fingers as wide as you can get them, easing into your heels. And if your hamstrings feel very tight or your calves feel very tight, bend a little deeper into your knees and make all that length come into the torso, from your hands through your shoulders and out your tailbone. Maybe bending one knee with one breath and exhaling, bending the opposite knee just a little bit deeper, maybe even bringing your quadricep right up to the rib cage, right? So feel free to pedal out here or walk the feet nice and wide and send your heels to one side. And then breathe them over to the other side. As I always like to say, you cannot do this wrong. You're already doing it super right because you are here today. Coming back to your downward facing dog, bend your knees nice and deep, look to your hands, and tippy-toe walk to the front of your mat as slow as you can. When you arrive, set your feet inner hips width distance apart. Take a deep inhale to lengthen through your back, like you're reaching the crown of your head towards where the ceiling meets the floor, or I'm sorry, where the wall meets the floor in front of you. And then exhale and allow your torso to fall over your legs. If you like, take hands to opposite elbows and take a little rag doll here. A soft bend through your knees is going to take really good care of your low back. And if this feels good, you can play with a little pendulum action, especially since if you just did Rochelle's class with me, your body is nice and warm and ready to accept this. And of course, anywhere you go, any work that you are doing with your body, it's always our job to listen to what our body is saying. What are we listening for? We're listening for pain or nothing. If you feel nothing, then there's some movement to be done. There's some changes to be made. Last full breath and slowly coming to a stop, releasing fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, roll up vertebra by vertebra. Really take your time and slowly lengthen through your spine. Shoulders roll up, back and down. I can't see my head. Inhale, drawing the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring your hands right down to your heart center. And pause and take a silent moment for yourself. In this crazy world that we're living in right now, it can be really hard to find time that is just for you. This moment right here is just for you. You are here. You are healthy. You are vibrant. Take one more full breath in. At the bottom of your exhale, releasing fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, draw up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take a flat back, bending your knees deep and step back 1 foot at a time to high plank. Inhale, your chin right over your fingertips, and as you exhale, slowly lower down. Try to go as slow as you possibly can, just in that one exhale. Toes point back, and then inhale, baby cobra, using your entire breath to take you there. Exhale all the way back down to your chin. Inhale to tabletop position. Tuck your toes and pike your hips to downward facing dog. At the bottom of your exhale, bend your knees, lift your hands, walk or take a big step to the front of your mat. Inhale, take a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, draw up, extended mountain. Exhale, fold over those legs. Inhale, take a flat back, bend your knees and step back to high plank. Inhale, pull your chin right over your fingertips, and this time as you exhale, you can pause halfway, and then you can go to the floor, or you can roll up onto your upward facing dog, hands and tops of feet only. Using your exhale to push yourself back to downward facing dog, easing into your heels. The bottom of your exhale, bend your knees, lift your hands, walk, step, or float. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, draw up. Just 4 more of those. Exhale, fold. Inhale, take your flat back, step, or you can shoot back to high plank and land halfway down and hover. Inhale, your back bend of choice. Exhale as you press back to downward facing dog. At the bottom of your exhale, bend your knees, lift your hands, walk, step, or float. Inhale, your flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, your flat back. Step or shoot back to high plank. Flow through any version of chaturanga that matches exactly what you have to give, not just today, but in the moment. And we all land back in downward facing dog. Bend your knees, lift to your hands, walk, step, or float. So we're flowing this sun salutation, flat back, forward fold. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or shoot back. flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, your back bend of choice. Exhale to downward facing dog and land here for 5 breaths. If you're feeling very breathy, it's always nice to take a child's pose, but I encourage you to stay here in downward facing dog and work that breath out for yourself. Sometimes it takes a minute to settle our body, to settle ourselves. Take the time that you require. We have just 2 more full breaths here, so if you decided to go to child's pose, come and meet us back in downward facing dog. And at the bottom of your next exhale, inhale your right leg up nice and high. Exhale as you pull your knee through towards your belly button, arch like a cat, and step the foot down. So the right foot is forward, inch it forward in between your 2 hands, tap the rear knee down, and inhale right up to Sir Galahad. Kneeling lunge. Fingers reach actively towards the ceiling, thumbs pull back behind you, and then pull those shoulder blades back down and into place. Shine your heart forward. Exhale, reaching the fingertips and the crown of the head towards the ceiling behind you. Inhale and pull your arms open. And now this time, exhale and bring your forearms together. Squeeze them together and feel the protraction of those shoulders. Inhale, draw it open. Exhale, pull it back together. Inhale, draw it open. Exhale, pull them together. One more time like that. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, draw open, and reaching the arms up, tuck your toe, tuck the left toe, and then exhale your way up to high lunge. Pushing the knee right over the ankle. Inhale, reach up, and as you exhale, twist open to open T-twist. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sink a little deeper through the hips. Reach back with the right fingertips to pull yourself open just a little bit more. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, take your left hand right down to a block or right to the mat on the inside of your right foot. Inhale your right arm up and overhead. Twisting lunge. So you have 4 more breaths here. Take your time to feel out your body in space. You might be really feeling this in the left hip. It's a really nice hip opener going on here. Or you might be feeling it in the hamstring and the glute on the forward leg. Experiment, listen to what's going on in your body. If your left hand is on a block, go ahead and move your block and bring your hand down to the mat. Take your left foot and come down onto the blade edge of the foot and heel toe the right foot open so that the right toes point off of your mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, pick the right foot up and step back behind yourself, opening up to flip dog. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly come back through plank and twist open to right side plank. Ooh, see, I stepped back. Take 1 full breath in your right side plank. Now, inhale as you prepare to move, and as you exhale, come to high plank and ride that exhale halfway down and hover, baby cobra or up dog, taking your work. Everyone exhales back to downward facing dog. Easing into your heels, you have 5 breaths here. So take the time to ease down into your shoulders. Shake your head, yes or no. Maybe you're taking child's pose here, if that feels right for you. Rocking the hips from side to side. Walking out the feet. If you took child's pose, come back and join us in downward facing dog. And at the bottom of your next exhale, inhale the left leg up nice and high. As you exhale, pull through, knee comes towards the belly button, arching through the back and step through. Tapping the rear knee down, inhale the arms up and overhead, Sir Galahad. Sinking into the hips without hanging in the ligaments. So we don't want to be so sunken in that there's no work. So imagine pulling yourself up towards the ceiling from the crown of your head and feel that fire all the way down through the core. Fingertips reach actively towards the ceiling, thumbs pull towards the wall behind you. On your next inhale, open up the elbows, cactus. Exhale, pull the forearms together, opening up through the shoulder blades. Inhale, we pull the shoulder blades back together. Exhale, we widen them up. And then press in through those forearms. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, shh. Just 3 more like that. Nice. Last 2, or maybe it was the last one. Well, we can't have too many of these. It feels so delicious on those shoulders. Nice. Come on, open. Reaching the arms up, tuck your toe, rear toe, and as you exhale, pull yourself up to high lunge. And if you're feeling a little tippy, like I am, maybe heel toeing the left foot towards the left edge of your mat a little bit. Inhale your fingertips up and overhead. Exhale as you twist open. Feel that core strength and hip opener simultaneously. One more full breath, maybe pulling back a little bit more with the left fingertips. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring your right hand down to the inside of your left foot, or you're taking a block here. So remember that taking a block is a great way of making this work a little bit more manageable. So if you're really feeling this in the hips or in the low back or the core, and it's just a little much, depending on where you are today in your practice, this year, this lifetime, take the work that you need. Just 2 more full breaths here, squaring the hips towards the mat, opening up through the chest. Take a deep breath in, and at the bottom of your exhale, send your block out of the way. If you're using a block, bring your right hand to the mat, and then spiral the blade edge of your right foot down to your mat. Heel toe the left toes to point off of your mat. And then at the bottom of your next inhale, exhale as you step the left foot back behind you, reaching the left arm up and overhead. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, rotating through high plank to left side plank. Stacking feet, legs, hips, and shoulders. 3 breaths in place. 2 breaths in place. Last full breath. Take a deep breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, bring the hand to the mat and flow through your vinyasa. High to low, your baby cobra or upward facing dog. Everyone exhales their way back to downward facing dog. And ease into your heels. 5 full breaths here. Taking your time. Feel out your work. Just 3 more full breaths. Maybe you're shaking your head, yes or no. Softly bending into your knees. Or pedaling your feet. At the bottom of your next exhale, inhale your right leg up nice and high. Exhale as you pull through and step through. Spiral the rear heel to the mat and inhale right up to Warrior One. Sink in. Now that Warrior One should feel a little bit more accessible after all that great twisting work that we just did. So making sure that we're taking the rear step leg, that left hip, and squaring it towards the front of our mat, which sometimes means condensing your stance just a little bit. Arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, the elbows open. Inhale, pull through. Exhale, bring the forearms together. Inhale, shoulder blades pull together. Exhale, protract and press the spine back. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, pull through. Last one like this. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, pull through. Inhale, the arms up and overhead. Exhale, open to warrior two. And if you had that warrior one stance that was able to keep that left hip forward, chances are you need to step a little deeper here for warrior two. So taking our shoulders right over our hips, front knee presses towards the pinky toe side of the foot, and reach the fingertips actively. So actively that you can feel those medial delts like jumping off of your shoulders here. Continue to reach actively in either direction. 3 more breaths. 2 more full breaths. Last full breath. Rear hand to your hip at the bottom of your exhale, palm up. Inhale, draw back, reverse warrior. And as you exhale, start to lengthen the front leg, reaching forward, triangle pose, and bring your right hand down to the left shin or to your block. Now, I'm a fan of blocks. I find that I get a much better posture when I'm using my blocks. So I'm trying to keep my shoulders stacked here, my torso long. See if you can bring all of your attention into how your body is behaving for you here. Front knee, of course, is micro bend, right? We really want to invite all of those muscles to keep working and not to dump into the knee joint. Just 2 more full breaths. Last full breath. And at the bottom of your exhale, slowly bend into the knee. Inhale, draw back, reverse warrior. Exhale as you spiral your hands all the way down to frame the foot. Slowly peel that right foot off of the mat and press away. Lengthen the right leg back and flow through your vinyasa. You can keep that leg floated if you want, or tap the toes down. Inhale your baby cobra or up dog. Everyone exhales back to downward facing dog. Down dog for 5 breaths. So this is a great place to take recovery if your body requires it. Being kind to ourselves, being understanding of what our body has to give in the moment. If you're staying up in downward facing dog, can you internally rotate the legs just a little bit more? Can you lengthen from the fingertips through the tailbone and draw the belly nice and tight to find a little bit more fire? Your last full breath, wherever you are, if you're in child's pose, come meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up nice and high. Exhale as you pull through, arching through the back and step through. Spiral the rear heel to the mat and inhale right up to warrior one. Exhale, sink in. Warrior one, we want our heels in the same line. Hips squared towards the front of the room, front of your mat. See, old habits die hard. Fingertips reach actively. Inhale your elbows open, pulling those shoulder blades together. Exhale, separate the shoulder blades. Press the forearms together with some intensity here. Inhale, draw it open. Exhale, close them up. And feel how your core responds here. Does this feel a little like cat-cow to you? It does to me. 3 more. Slow and methodical. Feeling our bodies work in conjunction with our breath. I believe this is the last one, but if you know me well, you know I'm really bad at counting. Inhale, back open. As you exhale, open up to warrior two, stepping those feet exactly where you need them. Front knee points towards the pinky toe side of the foot. We want that knee right over the ankle. Press back actively with the rear heel And then press all of your weight down into the blade edge of the foot and see how that changes what's happening in that leg. Inhale the arms out with so much intensity that you can feel those medial delts, right? This is I love Warrior Two for those medial delts. Fan the fingers, fire up. Sink just a little bit deeper. You've got 2 more full breaths here. Last full breath. And at the bottom of your exhale, rear hand to your hip, palm up. Inhale, draw back, reverse warrior. As you exhale, slowly lengthen the front knee and start to bring the left fingertips forward as far as you can go until you find that stopping point and easing yourself right down into your triangle. Now we're here for a little bit, so take the time to work out what this posture means for this side of your body, right? As I said before, I love me some blocks, so bring your block in and see if you can find just a little bit more work. I'm gonna bring my block down to my lowest measurement and see if I can get a little bit more twist, because I can use the junction of the back of my arm and the inner thigh as a fulcrum to twist myself open just a little bit, and I can feel it in the lungs. Lengthen from the crown of your head all the way down to the rear heel, pressing the blade edge of that foot down and in just a little bit more. Last full breath here. Get everything that you need from this posture. At the bottom of your exhale, bend deep into the front knee. Inhale, reverse warrior. As you exhale, spiraling the hands all the way down to frame your foot. Slowly peel the left foot off of the mat. Arch and press away. Float the left leg back and flow through your vinyasa. Whee! I just got the 10-minute warning. Whew, I almost fell down there. Everyone exhales back to downward facing dog. Inhales, you start to float forward. Low back arches, mid back, upper back, high plank. Flow through your vinyasa. Everyone exhales back to downward facing dog. Inhale as you float forward, low back, mid back, upper back. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa. Very nice. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Last one. Inhale as you float forward, low back, mid back, upper back. Exhale, flow through. Inhale, your baby cobra or up dog. Everyone exhales back to downward facing dog. And when you arrive, take one forearm at a time, right down onto your mat for puppy. And breathe. This is a really nice relief for our wrists, even with that extra wrist work that we did at the beginning of class. These wrists take a beating in our yoga class, so this is a great way to be kind to our wrists. Last full breath right here. And at the bottom of your exhale, slowly bring the knees to the mat. Keep the hips lifted and walk the hands out and pull back through the tailbone. See if you can open up those shoulders. This is a really great stretch for uncompressing ourselves. Maybe walking your fingertips forward a little bit more. Last full breath here. And at the bottom of your exhale, slowly press up to tabletop position. And if your wrists are a little tender, you can take a fist instead of a wrist here. Inhale, soften down through the belly button. Tailbone lifts, crown of your head lifts. Exhale, press away. Cat pose. Inhale, cow pose or lion. Exhale, cat pose. Coming back to a neutral spine, and slowly step the left foot as wide on the outside of your left hand, as wide as your mat. Toes can come off just a little bit, and then untuck the right toe, bring the right knee off, and step the right foot as wide as your mat. Toes point off, knees point off, coming up to your Hindi squat, yoga squat. When you arrive here, some like to bring the blocks under for a little bit of support. So if this is really rough on your knees or your hips, take the posture that feels best for you. Sometimes it's not always apparent what your how you're going to make that pose work for you. So take the time to work it out. See if you can use the elbows or the arms to push your knees a little bit wider. Inhale the crown of your head up. With every breath, lengthening from the crown of your head all the way down to your tailbone. With every exhale, drawing the belly in nice and tight. Reaching your right hand down towards your right foot. Inhale the left arm up and overhead. One more full breath. At the bottom of your exhale, inhale the left hand towards the left foot. Exhale the right arm up, taking 3 breaths in place, working it out, feeling your body in space. Last full breath. And as you exhale, slowly bringing the right hand down, heel toeing your feet in a bit, and then lengthen through your legs to slowly make your way to forward fold. Hands can come to opposite elbows for ragdoll, taking a gentle sway from side to side, wiggling your toes free. Slowly releasing fingertips towards the floor. Inhale as you roll up, vertebra by vertebra. Inhaling all the way deep into the lungs, shoulders up, back, and down. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Hands come right down to your heart center. Give yourself a bow. Nice work today, you guys. Namaste, bitches. I'm gonna unmute everyone. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, cancel.
Thank you.